Hola, bon dia. Hello, good morning. I'm here today with Simon Maya. He's an artist from Austria, and he will be presenting his show SunBengSitting in Fira Mediterrània in Manresa. So, hello, Simon. How are you?
Hola, hello.
Hola, hello. That's really crazy because in Vienna it's sunny and good weather, and right now I'm in Barcelona. It's raining and really kind of shitty. So, just to introduce yourself to the audience and the people who's coming to Manresa, who are you as an artist, and what's the kind of work you're doing with your company?
So, as you said already, my name is Simon Meyer. I'm a choreographer, performer, musician, and mainly I've been busy with folk culture and folk dance, folk music in the last years, connected to rituals. So my main interest was to find out what is it that I feel when I do folk dance or when I do folk music, because I did folk music and folk dance since I was a child, and there was always some other layer beneath that I felt was there, but I didn't really know where it was coming from, some layer of interest or some yeah. So I started researching on that, basically. And well, the thing is that the further I went away from home, because first I was in Vienna, I was in the opera ballet school, and then I went to Brussels, to Parts, to the school of Teresa de Keersmaker, and to Rosa's, to her company. And so the further I went away from home, the more it was interesting for me what to find in my local home, let's say. So in my, when I say local home, well, the topic of home is a very important one for me, so I always try to define it well. In that way, the local home would mean Austria, where I was born.
Which part of Austria is it? Exactly.
In the northwest of Austria, close to the German border. So yeah, it started to be interesting for me what I find, like what kind of artistic forms I could find in my local home. And then I remembered again the time with the folk dance group, which I'm still part of, and try to find out more about what folk art, folk culture is right now, politically, socially, what it can do to help in terms of the whole questions on borders and boundaries, because folk art can be a national identity in a way, and of course in the course of history it has been misused a lot, especially during the Second World War for Nazi propaganda and all that. And but at the same time, it can be really there to be a bridge between people, between nations, between cultures, and it is a bridge, because it's a big, every folk dance is a big hybrid of different kinds of movements, dances, melodies of different cultures.
I totally agree, and I think it's the first time you'll be performing in Manresa, no, in this festival, Fira Mediterrània, and if you can spend there some days, you'll see that the whole festival, it's really interesting because it's all this hybridation between the folk culture. It can be music, it can be dance, it could be theater, with contemporary arts. No, that's the thing you do. No, so we can talk specifically about SunBengSitting. I've seen, and we can see in the webpage of the festival the trailer, and we see it's like a one-man show. You're naked. There's folk music. There's yodeling. You're playing the violin. There's dance, there's a chainsaw. So if you can tell us a little bit about the show, because already the trailer, it's so interesting. And the first question would be, when did it appear? When did you create the show? And I think it has also quite a long life now. So what's the story of this show?
I won't tell you everything about the show because otherwise it won't be a surprise. But one thing I can say, it's not really a one-man show because I'm working together with the sound designer Pascal Holper, which he's really a very essential part of the show because we work a lot with music, and basically he is the one that makes the music on stage happen. So we work a lot with loop, with recording the music and looping the music and creating sound atmospheres. And basically the story of the show in a way has to do with what I said before concerning the question about home, the question about roots, the question on what folk culture can be nowadays for us, or is there maybe new forms of folk culture that we created already but we don't see? Like, would contemporary dance be the new folk dance, for example? Or is there something like a universal folk dance, something, a folk dance that we all share, a folk dance where there, for example, the question of the costume comes in, because I mean, as you can see on the pictures already, I'm naked on stage, and the costume question was a very interesting one in the sense of like asking myself, so what would be a traditional costume that